servers as a WMS layers also, but mostly for visualization. Not yet, data is not yet shared. So this was one layer, layer panel view panel layer where all the maps are available. There are toolbars, metadata, identifier, legends, zoom and all. There is a help button, and also of course cursor, what is the current location, what is the map scale. And this I'm not going to go further because you can always go to live on the Geo server and play with it and explore what are all the functionalities, what data is there. So just to recapitulate what have been the progress milestones when we started with the Geo portal version 1. We put up a open source Geo server with GeoXT and map layers, and this was the one application we developed and made it online on ICR data center. Then we redesigned this whole software, and which is the currently one version 2, which is having a newer interface, some advanced capabilities. This we can actually separately discuss those advanced capabilities, and it is also developed deployed at ICR data center with backup from IRI satellite lab also. Some of the databases and geo servers are also running there. Then we had a great difficulty, and with discussion among our team members and others, seeing what are the global standards, Indian standards, we developed the metadata formats, and we developed a courtesy Dr. Rajendra Prasad at ISRI, that with the ISRI team we could develop this application. We'll discuss it also. And as and when different institutes are sharing the spatial layers, we have been porting them onto the Geo portal. So this is the kind of thing. This is one particular layer with whatever the legends are there. And what important thing is that I have been always telling our colleagues from different institutes that it supports all kind of data which you are there. If you are savvy in using, or you have vector data layers or raster data layers, this is the way it should be shared with us, in what kind of projection or coordinate system and what kind of data. Even if you don't have there, you have data in tabular or free-flowing data, but it has some contextual, geographical context attached to it in terms of whether it is happening in a particular district or a state or a block. Even that kind of data can be ported onto the data portal, Geo portal. And important thing is that all data should be accompanied with metadata. We don't now accept any data without metadata. And this is the application which is there already on this particular link, where you can actually, using your own LDAP authentication, your icr.gov.in, any data which you share for putting as a spatial map over the Geo portal, you have to simultaneously populate the metadata also for that layer. And it is not only that. Just to give an example, our DDG Saab was also telling that we have a provisions, we can develop databases where you can actually populate your own spatial data if they are coming point-wise, line-wise. And those kind of applications we can develop, like, or this is probe residue burning across India, daily layers. This whole database has been already put up in an application. Again, it is authentication through LDAP, and only the institutes or the group which are going to populate this data, they are provided the access to this. So the important thing is that this is what is main thing to discuss today, is way forward. So let us first, I thought when we are looking for way forward, let us look back at the aim and purpose which we had started with, and do we need any mid-course correction or not. When we started with, we had put up a aim, but we never had put up a vision what is there. So I thought, let me again put a type of vision also to what a Geo portal should be, what our broader aim should be, and then go to the aims. The vision should be in terms of content, in terms of functionality, and in terms of interoperability. So it should be the most important spatial and non-spatial data set for India pertaining to agriculture in India. This is what we want. That is the kind of repository we are having a vision to build on. And it should have all kind of functionalities which should able to support decision making by a varied levels of stakeholders, starting from farmers, researchers, and policymakers. So researchers among our colleagues only and policymakers, they need a information synthesized into infographics or dashboards, like we have seen it for some of the things. And of course, the farmers need data pertaining to their localized areas. And when you say farmers, we need a lot of data which has to be updated in very near real time, pertaining to many of the things like assets, infrastructures, natural resources, as well as we need to build in, bring in the functionalities related to forecasting, so that then also it should able to support the decision making. So, but what I want to say, we are not talking of forecasting doing ourselves. There are many organizations, they are doing forecasting on different aspects. So we have to collaborate, coordinate with them to bring out their forecast in a way so that with different spatial layers which we have on resources, along with farmers level, their location, we could able to generate a decision making. So that is the ultimate in terms of functionality. And of course, it should have a seamless operation across platforms, devices, and systems. So you want to use it on a mobile, working on iOS to Android to any other platform, it should be it should be accessible and support the decision making. So this is what a broad vision is there. We can discuss during the day whether we should add something more to that or remove some of the things from here. Another important thing is that GeoPortal is basically part of a bigger spatial data infrastructure of an organization. So as an ICR, we need to audit what is our spatial data infrastructure, because one bigger hindrance which is coming to us is we are still sitting at IRI or ISRI at data center. We are not aware of many of the spatial data infrastructures which are spread across different institutes, the work they are doing. So this is one activity of GeoPortal, is also that we should able to bring all people together on one platform. But we need to start with doing auditing institute wise. What are the spatial data infrastructure? It is not only hardware, software, but also in terms of the skills and capabilities of the teams present there. That should be audited and it should be noted. And basically a GeoPortal, what it should support discovery and exchange of geoinformation. That is the aim, not only at organization level across institutes, but within an organization among the working groups also, and across communities in different organizations, whether we want to work with ISRO, we want to work with DST, we want to work with IMD, we want to work with state agriculture universities or with CGIAR systems. And also, even if any other stakeholders like NGOs, farmers group, they come, or industry, we should be able to do that kind of discovery and exchange of geospatial information. But all this need to be supported by allocation of staff, facilities, fund to ensure ongoing utility and vitality of the system. Otherwise, whatever gains we make, they get washed away very, very soon. And because it is a thing which moves along with technology, and technology changes with time, we need to have a continuous support, a institutional support. And I hope with the very close monitoring by our DDG, NRM, and other stakeholders, this is not going to be an issue. Then we need to strengthen our existing GeoPortal in terms of hardware, software. Earlier the GeoServer which was running, it was running from an old machine. So we are already procured a new server for that with a new hardware, a very high capability. So we have to put all this GeoServer currently working into this newer machines. And it is not that we have to stop the old one. We have to set up old one, continue to run, and new server also to be put up, so that, and we have to look for synchronization for their automatic updating and redundancy to act as a redundancy. Recently, after the lockdown, somebody wants to make any comment. So just to give an example, hello. Shall I continue?
Request
Please.
all is to mute your mics, and in case raise your hand. I think Vinay, you can continue. Nobody is talking.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Just to give you an example, when there was a lockdown, we had nobody else to look at our Geo server, so we had to go for a hard way to shut down the whole lab for some time. And after the lockdown, when the minimum services were open, we also opened it up. And within 2 days, there was a burnout in the machine. I don't know what was the reason. But what good thing was we had some kind of redundancy built in, and within 2 days, we were able to bring everything back online. Dr. Obi Reddy was very concerned that on 2nd of June, we have a meeting and we should be having a working Geo portal. So that kind of redundancy, we are also looking, that is the way forward. Another important thing is still we are working with the Geo server version 2.8, and now only last week version 2.16 has been released. It has many newer capabilities. So we are exploring. It is a time-consuming job. It is not simple that you take up a new, like a Office version, Windows or Office version 10 to version 2000 or something. And we are also looking for what is problem is becoming bigger for us, that GeoXT and Geo Explorer features have become paid services. Earlier they were. These are the APIs which are used to have a user interface. So through them, actually, you look at the web page, and they have become basically the newer features, which are newer additions, which are coming. They have become paid one. They are not open source. So we are looking for a different set of APIs, which are called leaflet APIs, which is again based on open source JavaScript library, to use them for user interface to be when you open through your Explorer or through your Chrome. Then besides that, over the time, one bigger problem was coming at ICR data center. They were telling that whatever software we have to put on the data center, it should be supported by a team. Then it should not be simply open source. So we had thought of that. We tried and procured actually a commercial Geo server also called ArcGIS server. It has been configured in a redundancy mode with the databases put on a SAN storage. So already that is there, but now we are working on, that is again way forward, to port our current Geo server data sets into, as well as some of the applications, into this new Geo server. Very soon, actually, for last 2 weeks, we are working on that. We are finding out what are the datas. Initially, we need to port them, take the training from the ArcGIS team, so that we continue to build on that also. So this is with respect to hardware, software. With respect to the core data, we need to strengthen the data and data layers, spatial layers. So a very important thing is that, which has been pointed out by our DDG sir, our PI, Dr. Rajendra Prasad also, that we need to bring all spatial and non-spatial data of ICR institutes on this Geo portal. We have to come out of that mindset that somebody will take up our data. Data has a value if somebody sees it, if somebody uses it, and then he will acknowledge also. If it is kept in the book, notebooks, and into your computer also, actually there's so much money which is spent in generating data would go down the drain. So we have to come out with that mindset, that the better most people use the data, more you will get the recognition. And the people will, when they use the data, they will also point out the deficiencies. They may also bring in newer kind of uses of data which you might or might not thought of. So this data which is to be brought at one place onto Geo portal, it should to be either we have to physically transfer those data onto ICR Geo portal. This is one of the best model because the ICR data center has security, it has backup system, so you can be ensured that it will remain there for longer continuity. If we do it at our individual centers, we have to ensure all those kind of things which are actually time consuming, which needs a lot of resources. But if you have still doubts, at least sharing data virtually through services But you have to take that responsibility that they become all-time available. Whenever there is any upgradation is needed, they are to be upgraded, and all the infrastructure is to be maintained at that institute, and if it is through services. We have to, various institutes have developed their own various levels of geoportals. They are also to be integrated so that those data sets should come into ICAR data portal. At IRI CREAMS, most of the data we have already at database level synchronized. So all data on IRI CREAMS geoportal is available already on ICAR geoportal. Another important thing is we have to strengthen the metadata collection, curation, updation. We have been, whatever layer data metadata we already have, we have not been able to link up, integrate with the online layers. So that functionality we are looking for. There are some issues coming, but hopefully it would be done soon. And also, this metadata should be able to be searched through unified search of Krishi portal. So that is the way forward. So this is already, I have shown this metadata uploading and maintaining applications. Then we have to enhance the capabilities of GeoPortal in terms of adding newer geoanalysis tools, which are not yet there, because if we add these geo tools, many of our ICAR institutes need not to buy any commercial GIS software. They should be able to do basic analysis through this portal only on their own layers. And we want to not only build simple geoanalysis tools, we want to go for building visualization, representation per feature class. So online, you actually click on a feature and you should be able to get infographics on that by analyzing the parameters or database attached to those features. Later on, we want to look for implementing, once a sizable data and layers are there, building the analytics tools related to machine learning, artificial intelligence, as well as statistical and mathematical functions. Currently, you can only, in terms of data output, we have to decide on which formats the basic data or their analysis, which a particular team do or a particular institute do, they can take up with that, in what formats it to be, maps to be exported, and their authentication as per ICAR data policy, that is also to be built in. Still we have to do it. And the linking of data which is coming into other repositories of observational survey or experimental or publication, because this is what we had aimed earlier also, that all those data which get populated there, ultimately they should have a linkage with the GeoPortal for representation as map. Similarly, we want to look at which are all the places we are getting more kind of publications related to a particular commodity. More publications from ICAR institutes are coming on wheat, or it is coming on a particular pest, which are all there. So it has a different connotation. It will show that these are the institutes, they are working on those problems because those problems are endemic or becoming problem or becoming issues in their own areas. Another important thing is we have to go for application developments. We have to first, whatever data is there, we are trying to find what are the possible applications from existing data, and also develop infographic and dashboard for the applications. We are starting with the crop residue burning, because that application database is already there. So their infographic and dashboard, so that anybody of you wants to see that which district, how many number of burning events happen from this to this particular date, or at a district level, or at a sub-district level. Or we want to see over time series, whether with respect to 2018, what happened in 2009, because that is going to help you in taking the decisions. And we also need to identify newer possible applications and generate the required spatial and non-spatial data sets, but this is not possible without involving all of new people. Another thing is we have to do, this is what is lacking, we have to do a lot of capacity building exercises. Our own core team, people which come, we need to have their training, updation of skills, those who are doing development and maintenance, maintaining the databases. And even we need to have a lot of basics to advanced level training of staffs which are involved in these activities at the institutes in use and generation of spatial data sets. as a team, core team, we want to do hand-holding of domain specialists so that we can bring their applications to GeoPortal. And it is with their own ownership. We have nothing to do with that, except that if the commodity-wise, crop-wise, resource-wise specialists come and they think of application, spatial application we want to do, we can help in generating the required spatial or non-spatial data sets. We put up that application, doing their coding, putting all data into database, hosting it on GeoPortal, and you have the credit with you. And of course, we have to do a lot of outreach activities also among our colleagues, among NARS colleagues, and among different organizations, because still many people don't know if such kind of initiative is there. ICR has taken an initiative, it is going hug-ho, it is going with full force onto this activity. And we also need to do a lot of highlighting these initiatives of ICR by participation at different national, international forums. I remember last year, I think in December, I had gone to ICR to ICRISAT because there was one big international conference on data in agriculture. And those are the forums which should have a specific presentations on our initiatives. Then it will take it gets highlighted among a bigger population of our colleagues. So there's different stakeholders. We need to also make our social media presence of these initiatives. This is on us to generate pamphlets and case studies, put up popular articles. So this is another activity for way forward. Sorry, this has come twice. And another is we need to strengthen the structure and continuity of the project. So committed budget for continuity. Because actually now year to year, though continuity is there, we are getting year to year budget. And so our project staff, basically either we have to lay them off after some time and then budget comes and again we have to hire them, or new persons come because they in between go to some other place. Then we have to make specific provisions for hiring services from third parties also, because that is going to be needed in time to come. It is not stringent, it is a stronger institutionalization of spatial data research. We also, as an organization, we have to think of that. What is that structure? How to institutionalize this remote sensing, GIS, GeoPortals, these kinds of data? We want many in real time. Our DDG server telling that we need to do many real time applications because agriculture needs many real time decision makings. So those, if we have to do real time, we have to institutionalize. Do we want to set up a unit somewhere, or we want to set up an institute itself as it has evolved in ICRs? So that is there. And then we have to, yet we have not clearly defined, we have to have a clear functional structures. Who is going to be the chief information officer, content administrator, operation manager, metadata publisher, and who are end users. And finally, all of us needs a lot of motivation, recognitions for the team who are going to contribute, who are already contributing and putting their own time and resources into this activity. So thank you all for a patient hearing. And I acknowledge the support from all my seniors, DGICR, DDGs, NRM, DDG, engineering directors of ISRI, IRI, NBSS, our PIs, our core team members and IRI team, which are I am well supported by Dr. Jaideep Mukherjee, Rajkumar Dhakad. I have a very capable technical chief technical officer, Mr. Rakeshwar Verma, and also a lab attendant, Mohammad Jangir. Mr. Rakeshwar Verma is going to retire in one more year, and I'm really worried how we will able to support and fill that gap of his knowledge, because he is the one who is maintaining all the computer infrastructures as well as hardware and software. Thank you all for this patient hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Vinay, for giving the detail of the achievements what we made in the last 4.5 years in Krushi, and what are the areas actually we could able to cover, and what are the gaps, and what are the